Yo, what's up everybody? How y'all doing? Yeah, we got a lot of activity going on here. You know, welcome to my world. We back out here in Baltimore, Maryland, doing our thing, and we out here getting ready to do something huge, something incredible. We're going to get ready to interview one of the greatest R&B singers out there, Lil Mo.
Trying to make it disappear, make it pack your bags, get the hell out of here. They can't play no more.
He's able to do anything that you ask or think, according to the power that worketh in you. It's worketh in you. Yeah.
Okay, she's gonna get off the car, y'all. I'm gonna like stand right here before we go. I'm gonna find something to do to make myself known before we even just chew on it right here. I think, okay, well, something, well, I don't know, something we could make it happen.
Welcome to my, alright, I told you welcome to my world, now we gon' fall in love with this sound, I'ma be around for a minute, I'm certain to leave a new trend, I ain't tryna fit in, my record's bigger than the club, and the weekend is going down, we here to take it over, take it over, take it over, you be riding, and I'm driving, about to take off, welcome to my
At this time, may I have national recording artist and Baltimore's own Lil Mo present the national anthem.
All rise, please, for the anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rocked alive, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the whole of the brave?
Alright, what's up everybody? This is a new episode. We'll be back. Welcome to my world. You know, we've been out for a little while, but we took a break only to come back with a huge statement to bring, of course, as you all may know, Lil Mo, such a great celebrity, Godmother, R&B to me. She's amazing. I love her music. Been listening to her since I was born, as long as I can imagine.
He tried it!
No, she's great. She's phenomenal. She's done so much stuff, and a lot. Although she's been down and gone from the music scene for a little while, she still is relevant to our time and still been like doing big phenomenal things. So we're gonna talk to her and get to know a little bit more about her and everything about her. So my first question, I was reading on your bio and stuff, how your father was in the military and all that stuff as a young child and stuff like that. So what was that like growing up and dealing with all that around?
Well, growing up it was kind of hard because with the military you just never know where you'll end up. He joined when I was in like the 7th grade, so we were in New York and I was supposed to start high school because up there high school starts from 8 to 12 and middle school's like from everything is mashed together. Right. So it was really devastating to me. Now that I look back at it, those are like, I would say the sponge years, those are the years that made me who I am. So I was kind of upset growing up having to move like, oh, but what about my friends? But now I see it was great that it happened because it grew me to be the artist I am today, because then I got to see the world from New York to Texas, from Texas to Atlanta, from Atlanta to North Carolina to now Baltimore, Maryland. So I've been all over the USA, but those are the places that we live. So it just helped me be more mobile and also just to learn how to live out of suitcases, because we'd be someplace for maybe 10 months, maybe a year. And it just honestly taught me integrity and how to get along with different people, because, you know, there's some people you can tell they've never been outside of their area. Yeah. They grew up in Brooklyn or Baltimore or Alabama. That's all they know. I'm glad that I got to get out, and that's what I really want my children to experience as well, because it does make you well-rounded, and it also helps you, you know, just learn different cultures. Because my husband would say, one day you sound like you from New York, one day you sound like you from down south, one day you sound like you from, girl, stop playing, you know you from the country. So it just made, I think, a better me.
That's good. I was also reading in your bio and stuff. Well, I saw some previous interviews as well. You did that John P. Kid is your uncle.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a big fan of John P. Kid.
What's your favorite John P. Kid song?
My favorite John P. Kid song, because I'm a drummer, is Clap Your Hands. Yeah, Clap Your Hands, I believe. I think when Calvin took the solo, it was like
Rain on Us.
Rain on Us, I'm sorry.
Rain on Us.
Yeah.
Chris
Chris. Yeah, so she's a huge fan. She's a bigger fan than me.
So y'all not, so well, I used to say your Uncle John about, it was
that was like your first tour you had to do?
Yeah, that was the first tour. Yeah, I had like literally just graduated. So before that, I was just doing local shows, like when we would leave on a Friday and come back that Sunday. But that was before he had his church. But then once I graduated, I was allowed to really go to like Bobby Jones. That's when it was in Tennessee and everything like that. So I really got to see the world through he as well, because, you know, that was honestly the introduction to me being Lil Mo. Because a lot of people think just because he's family that I automatically got to sing. No, right. I had to audition and everything. And I got up there initially trying to rap, and they was laughing. And I tried to do like this jump through my leg. One time we was on the road and I felt like we used to do this dance and you hold your foot and you jump through it. And I bust all my tail. But, you know, that was the first thing that taught me of being on the road. It was one thing I knew how to move around, how to live out of a suitcase, but then being on the road, it was a totally different experience, a totally different world from the gospel side. But then when I moved over to the R&B side, that was a whole other different world. I've been in so many different worlds. It's like, where I come from, Lord, I need a reader to sing for me. Rats.
So with him, I see he had a huge impact now. So how did the transfer from gospel to R&B take place? And then I see Missy Elliott being one of the first people you worked with.
Yeah.
How was that like for that? Was that like a huge thing for you working with somebody?
It was really huge. It was a huge thing for me and for my family, because just coming off the road with one of the hugest gospel artists of our time, right. You know, that was like one thing, but then to go R&B, at first time I was like, Rrr? But it was like, it's almost like it was inevitable. You just knew it was gonna happen just from my whole swag. Back then I was really a tomboy and I was into hip hop really tough, but a lot of people might not remember. John was like one of the first people to introduce like hip hop to, like a lot of people don't know from his music inspiration, a lot of the hip hop art did. Like we used to be on stage like, show, we was doing the salute like, when you need him, he will. He was just like, it just had that hip hop feel, so it just only seemed right. And so actually the first tour I went on after I did gospel was with Gangstar. Google, he passed on. It was a hip hop group. They toured overseas and the United States. So then I got to travel the world for free before I turned 21. So it was just like, that was really cool. So I got to see the other side of the world, you know, through the hip hop coin. And then after I got back on tour, I was like, okay, so now what I'm gonna do? Because I was in beauty school. I was really going to be there. I just wanted to do some my hair, and God saw otherwise. So then I started writing songs and stuff like that, and just making my way back to New York, and that's how I met Missy. Like literally, was in the mall and that's when beepers was out. Everybody got iPhone 5, 6, 7, 20, whatever. But I had a beeper, and so you never knew it was calling. You just know a number popped up. I called it on the paper. The rest was history. I was on tour like that next week.
Oh wow!
Without a manager, without a bio, just word of mouth, and just me being my best business card.
Oh yeah, that's God. That's
nobody can. Like, that doesn't happen, especially not anymore.
It definitely doesn't happen. Not anymore. So with that, and then I know from there, you came across your first single, which was 5 Minutes. Now, when that was done and it came out, how did that make you feel? Like some type of accomplishment? Like, wow, it's really like, this is me, this is...
I just had fun. I honestly, and I could say today, and I'll say for the rest, I honestly didn't ever think that any of this would happen. Mm-hmm. I just literally just wanted to have fun. I just wanted to meet cool people, and everybody just always thought I was so cool and comedic, and just everybody like, your dad's a preacher, and my dad would always come around with him being a pastor and take everybody's pictures. Like, your dad come with that camera. Here he go with the camera. Everybody knew my dad always had the camera, and him and my mom are still married to this day. Everybody just knew I was family oriented. So this is just like an honor just to still be around and just to be alive and just to be well respected. I really didn't give it for that. So my gift made room for itself. I honestly just so people knew I could really sing, and that was it. And like literally, the people I saw me, I was like, okay, I always wanted to meet them. Cool, now I'm done. But nobody won't let me retire. Like,
no,
for real.
Oh
man.
So I'm glad you spoke about your family being so family oriented. So with that being that, how do you balance it out between the business and the traveling and then making time for your husband and your kids? And
well, he's here with me. So like that's half the balance and half the battle. Yes, God. And with my family being so close, it just balances itself out. That's why when people say they can't do certain things, then that's just an excuse. And excuses only satisfy those who make them, and I don't believe in making excuses. I understand things happen and things come up, and then you have to find your, way to make it work. But when it's destiny, pieces of the puzzle and the path just fall right in place. There's nothing you can do about it. It's like I have 4 children, and I won't send an event. If I know I have to get my kids from school, why would I book something and not have nothing set up for them to be picked up or me to be there? So for people who can't work it out, then they have no organizational skills. And I'm organized. I pride myself in being itinerized and well put together and just making sure I know everything that's going on. And as well as everything that we do is family oriented, from our management to production to everything. Like everybody that's around us knows my family, they're around my family, so they know how we move. So if we have to take the kids with us, everybody's organized to keep the kids. Today, my makeup artist is on her way to do my makeup, and my other staff that got there first got to touch my hair. My son was like, where's Jay? Why is Jay not here? Like, my kids know, if someone asks me, what's going down? Basement. Nah. So everybody just knows this is a family team, and if you're not for family, then don't even come with us to work with the team. It doesn't work like that.
That's awesome. So you've done collaborations with like Jay-Z, Ja Rule, Fabulous, John P. Key. There's so many people, but I know one of my favorites was Superwoman, the part 2, the remix and stuff like that. That joint's I don't know. I mean, I'm a dude, but like just your music period.
That's the joint you was talking about that I did when you was born. He's like, I've been loving music since I was born.
So how did that whole song come about? Like, what was the vibe? I was in the studio just chilling.
No, it literally came up. It was 2 hours left of a session I was doing with me and DJ Clue. We used to do a lot of music together. So he was finishing up Accomplished for his mixtape. I did an intro on it, and I was like, yo, I need a single for my album, because we had been handing singles. The label was like, nah, this ain't gonna work, blah, blah, blah. I did Gangsta, and they oh, that's too hard. Then I did Ta-Da, and they said, oh, people that'll go over people's head. Everything I did was like so futuristic. So I was just like, I'm gonna just do me. And I did a session in California, and Clue had to catch a flight back. So I was like, well, I want that track that you have played. And he was like, well, that's for somebody. And I was like, no, it's not. It's for me. Like, that doesn't even sound like something that would be on. Like, who does it? Who tells me no? Listen, you know who my daddy is? No, I'm still. So he gave me the track. He was like, you can have something to me by the time I land. Because now you can MP3 and I can take my phone and sing my whole album live. It's out. Back then you used to have to make a copy and get it to the airport so you could Delta dash it to New York. So he's like, you can get it done before I get back and they hand in the record, then it's yours. So I literally used 2 hours of studio time to do Superwoman, and when we got back to New York, he was like, that joint hot. He was like, do you want to rap on it? Because I had worked with so many people by then, like Missy, and like I had met with Jay-Z and all of them and stuff like that, and I did songs with Ja Rule. I was just like, yo, that dude, that be on your mixtapes. I was like, he's like, who? I was like, he spelled his name, F-A-B. I was like, because my brother was put me on the DJ Clue mixtapes, and my godmother was there. He was just like, oh, I can get him to come right now. He called Fab, and that was before really cell phones. That's when the big phones was out. So he called Fab, and Fab came to the studio and had the SkyTel pager. And he wrote his whole rhyme on them little laptop things. And he did the rhyme, and the rest was like literally history. When everybody said, "Oh, like what happened? This ain't gonna be no hit." I mean, we made it top 5, actually top 40 in the whole United States, and top 5 as record. So it's considered a hit.
That's yeah. And then you went back and featured on Fabulous when he finally made his debut.
Yeah. We've done like so many songs together. I've lost count. It has to be probably like Superwoman Forever.
Baby, at the point in my life when I'm tired of playing games, been your Superwoman for so long, ready to be your wife.
Little M.O.
I was and I did background like on a lot of his stuff and stuff for other people's albums, stuff that we ain't never turned down. So we have a whole album worth of things and collaborations that we've done, and it just certain people have that certain chemistry. That's why I'm so scared when they're like, "Hey, you should get a rapper." And I'm like, if it ain't Fab, then I really don't want to do anything without it because I'm so comfortable. Like his birthday's November 18th, mine's November 18th. I'm like, this is destiny. Don't mess with it. Don't touch it. Don't break it. God ordained it. Like, and that's why we're like brothers and sisters. The chemistry is there, and I'm so scared to get other people. I'm scared to give other people a chance, and that's what I need to let go of. But I also didn't want to keep on doing every song and then be like, oh, that Joe whack. Because people be sitting, they know the Joe hot, but people be ready to hate it. So I was like, I'll just do things myself. He does his stuff, and just to this day, when Superwoman or Forever comes on, everybody, yo, I do Forever. People just be yelling from the audience, and it just feels so good for people just to still feel the same way as if it came out yesterday. And that record is since 2012 came out. That John was 12 years old. That song was older than my children. It's older than my children, y'all. Yes.
That joint was crazy. All them stuff. I love that stuff. I love the collaboration with Fab, and I also want to know how it's working with Jay-Z, one of the biggest rappers known right now, and just in history. Like, how was that before he really even got to where he at right now? To work with him then, how was it? Was it cool? Was it
Yeah, he's mad cool then, still cool now. Like a lot of people think that when you move up, I would say socially, they think that when you're on a more personal level, then you have to change. And one thing I can basically say about that whole camp is that when you're in, you're in. So he's not Mo, I don't remember. Like, he doesn't forget a thing. And that's what I love about people. You go, oh, you don't remember me? And people that are higher up, you would think that they would forget, but they don't forget. And so just from day one up until this day, he's been the same person continuously. Like, I've seen him years before. Like, I even had anything out. Because when I was down with Guru and them back in the day, we used to all be at this studio called D&D Studios, and so like all the rappers would be there. I'd be the only girl there, just acting like a tomboy. But people brought me under and took me under their wing. And one thing that was always undeniable was that when I would sing, people were like, yo, like you're really dope. And honestly, I pride myself in putting that out there that all I had to do was sing. Notice that I ain't never, and a lot of people don't give me credit for it, but I ain't never have to sleep with nobody. I ain't never have to sign to nobody. They ain't get ran through the ring and stuff like that. That's why one thing Irv Gotti always told me, he said, your name hasn't been, you know, your name isn't scarred. You haven't done anything. People are like, yo, she's smelling mad ass to die. They can't say that about me.
Right.
And that's the reason why people can still respect me to this day. So, like, just to work with him before, and maybe we'll work together again in the future. Who knows what the future may hold?
I need to.
I still, like, keep in contact with the whole rock situation like that. Is a great situation because I toured with them and everything. That's why I was like, yo, they're the coolest. And everybody just always want me to tell jokes all the time. Like from him to Missy to Fab. Like all we do is just, everybody just jokes. Like we joke time, but you can't let everybody know I'm joking. Then people be like, yo, it's like, nah, they ain't like that.
So I gotta ask this, out of everything you've done in life as far as that, what was like one of your most embarrassing moments?
Most embarrassing? I always get embarrassed. Like when I was going out there to sing the anthem, this lady was looking over her glasses, and nobody. See, y'all can't tell when I'm laughing inside and trying to hold it all together. But my husband was like, this lady, like she pulled out her iPad and pulled the glasses all the way down and looked over them and look at the iPad. She should have just took them off. And so he said that right before I went out to sing, and I'm sitting up there. That's why I said, will everybody please rise for the anthem? Because I was like, just trying to process, like, okay, let me get in the serious mode. This is the Star Spangled Banner. But he just made me laugh. But I don't get embarrassed. I always make every situation into like a funny movie. Like if I would have walked down there and fell, I would have like do the snake or the worm. Like everybody, I would have like I know how to play it off. But let me see, what was the most embarrassing moment? I really can't think of this because I've never been embarrassed. I've been like, oh snap! Like did y'all see that? But if ain't nobody, if somebody see it, I'm gonna play it off. If somebody see it, it happened. So I don't really get embarrassed. I can't. I was looking at, this is an embarrassing moment. They tell me the guy said my Instagram, and they said, have you ever did a then and now? So let me see if I can, I looked at this picture. This is me and my sister. We did backgrounds for Missy on Jay Leno. What did we have on? He was like, look at mother, her boobs was pushed. And our dad's a preacher. My sister, why did I have all this grease on my stomach like this? One side of my head was curled, one side was flat. You couldn't tell me who wasn't killing. You could not tell me who wasn't killing game. She on the body shape, I think. But what was I doing? That's an embarrassing moment. Let me see. You see that? That's a mess. That is some mess. That's embarrassing.
So with that, and then also like if you can tell us like a situation where you had to come and perform, and it was almost without giving names because we don't want to do that, but like worst situation, like the people, the service was like their personality, their character, they was just like, yo, you're like, okay, yeah, we can't do this no more. We just know not to come back. Let's just go get it done.
That really doesn't happen to us. We really know how to, I'm pretty sure it's happened years ago, but it's all about how you present yourself. Your reputation has to supersede people's expectations. Like, you have to have a good representation and a good reputation, because a lot of people expect artists to come and have an attitude. I don't take all that, because if we go out here, if I get shot, I'ma die. I'ma bleed. If you go out here, you get shot, like until artists become immune or an invisible shield or nothing can happen to them, I don't believe you should go and act all ignorant. Now, usually when we do engagements, we'll say, well, our rider requirement, blah, blah, blah. Now, I came here today, and none of the stuff is on the rider requirements taken care of. Am I going to get an attitude? No. I'm just going to go, and I'm going to go buy myself something, or you should have ate when you got there. You just have to prepare yourself for any situation. Now, we've been in places to be like, okay, how y'all gonna have us? Like, how y'all gonna have us? Why y'all didn't tell us it was ratchet? That's why we've learned to just wait in the car, eat before we come, bring your own hand sanitizer, use the bathroom before you arrive to the building, because you don't know who ain't flush, you don't know who ain't fresh, and you don't know who ain't sane. So that I've learned to navigate through the system to realize that some people, they just don't know. Like a lot of people, like, oh, we're gonna book you for this event. and they always want to book an event, and they don't know what to do. And so we're like, okay, well, we'll say you're a rider, or what's that? What do you mean? So did you think you're just supposed to send me some money and I'm supposed to just make it do what it do? It don't happen like that. So we just usually know how to sift it. We've learned and we've become accustomed to learning how to sift through the wheat from the tare.
That's good. That's good. So let's push forward to your new album that you have out right now. Yes, I Love Me. What was the the inspiration behind it? Because before this, it was a while before you put out anything. So what was the whole push and motivation to get this whole album out and stuff?
Just to get an album out. Because I guess when I'm on chill mode, I don't realize like you have a fan base and a core audience out there just sitting. And I know Superwoman, we love family. We love the songs with family. We love you and Missy, but we want more music. And I'm one of those people that sit back and be like, you know what, I could really do. I could really go for a Beyonce album right now. I could really go for this. And then there's sometimes be like, okay, you need to have a seat. You know, and I'm a person, I'll sit myself down. You ain't got to tell me, okay, Mom, you're oversaturated, you're getting on our nerves. You're doing too much. Like, I know how to sit myself down because not only am I a consumer and a customer, like I'm my own client. So I have to realize when to come and when to fall back, when to press forward and when to, ease up when the lane is open. I've learned to navigate through the industry like that because there are times the industry is wide open, which it is now. Then there's times where everybody's coming out and you're just trying to figure your way through because a lot of people are like, oh, so-and-so going to overshadow you. It's like, no, they have a label with a major budget and they'll pay for that, And I was like, I'll just wait. And I waited, and so we put out the independent album. Now I'm going back major because I'm like, independent is cool, but that ain't for me. Like, it's not for me. It's not. It's fun, and I'm glad I tried. So I can say I did it. Maybe I'll do it another time. But no, because a lot of people have presented themselves as labels, and they're not labels, and they presented themselves as independent and saying they have this and that. Because even with independent, it still costs money.
Right.
And yeah. We not going
right. Yes,
I'd rather spend them rich people money, put this album out, and I get up there and look cute.
And keep going.
An independent hustle is hard work, and I'm not saying I'm not up for it, but the way that if I would have came out independent in the beginning, then yeah. But for now, this industry is too for me. It's this economy, everything is too upside down. Yeah, I mean the fans are too fickle because a lot of people. It's a lot.
I understand. Yeah. So one last question. We know, if don't nobody know, we should know that you come from the church.
My grandma used to say, LA on Sunday morning. Yes, sir. He got up. No music. Holy Ghost power. Holy Ghost power. Healing power.
Being PKs, I want myself. But with that being said,
I'm upgraded. I'm a BK.
Oh, you're BK. You're bishop now, right?
Bishop now. Yeah, he's a bishop. He's been elevated since then. So, yeah, you know how people like, I'm a bishop's kid.
Right.
Totally different. No.
So, could we ever expect maybe a gospel song or a gospel album or something just to dedicate or something like that?
Of course, yeah. I'm actually working on so many projects now as is, from TV to another R&B project. Because P.S. I Love Me will be 1 year old on, well, it's actually 2 years old for me, but it's 1 year old you guys because it came out November 1st digitally. November 8th, hard copies, a couple of copies that we have pressed up. So that'll be 1 year old. So I'm thinking about, spoke to Copa, I spoke to Fantasia, I spoke to a couple of other friends, us doing a give back project because we're all preachers' kids, we're all from the church. So just doing a project just to, let's just get out the way, no, just to satisfy the people who gave us our start, and that would be the church. Even though church people act crazy, they know her like church. But, just to show that we didn't forget where we come from. Yes. So we're in the works of at least doing another song like we did Endow Me. And a lot of people still talking about, I'm like, yeah, but we did that song years ago. We got so much more in us. We got some originals that we got to labor. I still ain't remixed Hold Up You yet. But I'm just like, yeah, we just got that in the works, as well as I'll probably do a gospel solo, maybe EP, not a whole 10 songs and be like, Jesus.